Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. This is the only place you're going to find organic, locally sourced, responsibly handled Bible study that's artisanally made just for you, 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, studying the Psalms, verse by verse. Where else are you going to find that? Nowhere else. That's only right here in Daily Dose Radio. So today we're looking at Psalm 52, and we've been in verses 1 through 3 so far. Today we're going to look at verses 4 and 5. We have a Selah that breaks between 3 and 4. So verse 3 said, "Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness." Okay, now we have the break. So we're thinking about that. And I left you yesterday after reading James 3, 5 through 6. You know, the tongue is a fire, set on fire by hell itself. So we understand that verse 3 is right on the money, right? That's James's commentary on Psalm 52:3, if we want to look at it that way. The tongue does love to do evil more than good because it's been set on fire by hell. Now you notice verses 4 and 5. Let me read those for us. "Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. God shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place and root thee out of the land of the living." Selah. All right, so we have here verse 4, a little bit more about the tongue, because you'll notice verse 4 begins with "thou lovest." Well, who's the thou? Well, we had in verse 3, "thou lovest." And what was the antecedent for that one? Verse 2, "thy tongue devises mischiefs. Thou lovest evil more than good. Thou lovest all devouring words." So the tongue of the mischievous man, the mighty man that we're talking about, Doeg the Edomite, it's a tongue that loves evil and it loves all devouring words. And of course, this is so much like our tongue as well. We don't have to go back and read James chapter 3 again, but probably we should, because the tongue, even though it's a little member, it does great things, just like that little rudder steers the ship. James gives that analogy. So the tongue is a little thing in us, and yet it does so many great things. But it, like I said, is set on fire by hell. So loving all devouring words would be something that would fit right into the picture about the tongue. It's deceitful. And now we've already used that idea with the tongue up there in verse 2. The sharp razor that works deceitfully. So if it works deceitfully, I said the other day, it's going to cut the wrong way. If it cuts the wrong way, then it's going to perhaps cut your skin and bleed you. Well, here we have it again. "You deceitful tongue, you're loving all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue." So here's the word deceit again. And we understand that this is a problem. It was a problem for Doeg, and it's a problem, ladies and gentlemen, for us as well. What are you doing with your tongue? Let me ask that question one more time. Notice the judgment of God. "God shall likewise destroy thee forever." Now, who's he talking to? Who's the thee? Well, that's the tongue, the evil tongue. And in this case, I think also, it's the tongue that's in the mouth of Doeg because of what he's done. But we can also say it's the tongue that's in our mouth as well if we don't train it to do something better than to cut the wrong way. "God shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place and root thee out of the land of the living." Notice how many times he uses that second person pronoun. "He shall destroy thee," there in verse 5, that first phrase. "He shall take thee away. He shall pluck thee out of thy dwelling place." And then we have it again here in this last phrase, "and root thee out of the land of the living." 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times here in the 5th verse. He speaks directly, and he doesn't want to let us forget who he's talking to. The tongue that destroys, the tongue that devours, the tongue that cuts the wrong way, the tongue that devises mischiefs. Well, it's got a problem, doesn't it? And the problem is that God's going to judge it. And then, of course, we end verse 5 with Selah. Once again, we rest and let us contemplate what we have just read. All right, join me again tomorrow. We'll look at verses 6 and 7 here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.